Society of Physician Entrepreneurs is a global biomedical healthcare innovation network. We're a network. We were founded by 3 physicians, myself and 2 other otolaryngologists in 2011. It's a non-for-profit member organization with a separate tax-exempt foundation. It's open to medical professionals and anyone else in healthcare that is interested in helping patients with their innovations. At the beginning of 2015, we have almost 18,000 LinkedIn members. Next slide. So what's the purpose of SoPE? We want to make a better world through improving healthcare. The vision, the mission, and the activities of the society are ultimately to benefit the general public regarding better treatment, getting faster access to new treatments, and lowering costs. We all have to do this together. It has benefits beyond patient care in that we help to launch new businesses. This means job creation and increased global, not only competitiveness, but global cooperation. And that's what we're doing by launching a SoPE chapter in Turkey, is really to connect you with the 14 chapters we have here in the United States and the 3 other chapters we have that are starting internationally. Next slide. We're unique in that we have a different makeup, a different leadership, and a different mission. It's the only known organization of this type that was founded and led by physicians, with the specific purpose of providing support for those physicians, as well as any other healthcare professionals on the front lines of delivering healthcare that need help in bringing their ideas and their innovations and their inventions for improving healthcare to life. And this is what makes it unique, in that it doesn't have to be physicians. But what do physicians know that other people don't? We know what's in our toolkit. We know what we have to take care of patients, and we know what we need to take care of patients. So we can not only understand unmet need, but we can clearly define it, and we can articulate it, and we can help others around us say, here's a problem that we're having. How can you help me solve this problem? So that's what SoPE is all about. It's really trying to cooperate across disciplines, from biomedical engineers to software engineers to hardware engineers, so that we can create new technologies for patients. So the problem is that a lot of people don't have any resources. Whether you're in a community-based practice or an academic practice, many times you have a new idea and it just dies. It dies on the vine. We want to be the go-to place for gaining knowledge from experienced medical and professional entrepreneurs, and learning about sources of education and support services available to help all of us pursuing an entrepreneurial path. And the only way to do that is to cooperate and to make it known that if I have done something and it's been successful, you can learn that way that I've done it as well. And if I've done something and I've been unsuccessful, then you can learn sometimes even more from my failures than you do from my successes. Next slide. So when you see yourself in a capacity of a business person looking at your new company and you say, these aren't our real numbers, but darn, they're numbers we deserve, you should understand what makes the difference between numbers that are real and numbers that you think you would like to have. Next slide. So here are some lessons in leadership and innovation from the world's highest profile leaders and how they've overcome defeat, stagnation, and uncertainty. Because this is not easy. Figuring out new ways of bringing technologies to patients is a roller coaster. It's difficult. It's not for the faint of heart. So you have to have some strategies when you are beginning this journey. Number 1, focus on the people, the strategy, and the execution. And Apple CEO Tim Cook said, if you get those 3 right, the world is a great place. Number 2, be tough and tell it like it is. Raised in the public housing projects on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, Ursula Burns, the CEO of Xerox, attributes climbing the ladder of success to leaning in difficult situations. That means she didn't run away, but she gave it her all, her attention, her devotion, her complete concentration and focus until she got the job done. Number 3, know when your team needs a confidence boost. If humanizing Microsoft is a goal, the CEO, Satya Nadella, is the man for the job. So that tells us that as scientists, sometimes we don't do that well. Sometimes we don't talk to the people that we work with. Sometimes we're not team players. Part of what we do at SoPE is teach each other how to be a good team player and work in a group and not be the solo individual that has the total responsibility for the project yourself. You have to learn how to work in a team. Move fast, adapt quickly, and be bold. What keeps me up at night is speed, says IBM's Ginny Rometty. Speed of transformation and continuing to move to that future. Things change. And what you have to learn as an entrepreneur is the word pivot. When things change, you have to be able to change with the times. Because if you stay on the same course, chances are you will crash and fail. So learning how to pivot is an essential part of reiterating your idea and bringing it to market. Think about reinventing everything. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos refuses to accept conventional wisdom. He thinks big and he's supremely uncomfortable with the status quo. If you're comfortable with the way things are, then chances are you're not a good entrepreneur. You have to want to make things different than what they are today. Press on with fortitude and ferocity. Rocket science or not, challenges will present themselves. Press on and conquer, says the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, Elon Musk. And if you don't do it with fortitude and ferocity, people won't believe in you. You have to have passion in what you do. And you have to show that to the people who surround you, both on your team and your investors as well, or else they won't believe you. Embrace your crazy ideas. When no one else is crazy enough to do it, you have little competition, says Google's Larry Page. Have confidence, fail often, I'll put in there fail quickly, and have a healthy disregard for the impossible. So you have to be a bit of a dreamer to do this. You have to say that I could do something that people before me have failed to do well. And if you have that in your mind and you can teach that to the people that surround you, you will be successful. Next slide. Now, I don't know if you have people like this in Turkey, but we have a lot of people like this in America who are not very nice. So this guy says a good reason to keep chalk in your glove box is to make people realize when they're not being nice to people who are surrounding them. So emotional intelligence is an important part of being a good entrepreneur. Next slide. So this is a potpourri of the businesses that I'm involved in, and I show you this to give you an idea of what it is to be a physician entrepreneur. I practiced otolaryngology and facial plastic surgery for about 25 years. I did my medical school and residency at Yale University. And toward the end of my career, I went back and got an MBA at Johns Hopkins. And then I went and got a degree in organizational development at George Washington. And I left clinical practice about 10 years ago to become a full-time entrepreneur. So I run a couple of different companies. I run a medical debt collection company where we collect the patient responsibility portion for hospitals and clinics and ambulatory surgery centers. I employ about 30 people in an office right outside of Washington, D.C. to help me do this. I also build assisted living facilities for patients with Alzheimer's and dementia. I have 3 of these facilities in Illinois. I'm building a 4th one in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And now I'm speaking to hospitals here in the DC area about joint venturing with them to build memory care clinics here in the DC area as well. I have sat on the board of many startup organizations, both in medical devices and molecular diagnostics, in health IT, and in biotech. Some of them have been successful, many of them have not. And I've learned a lot in these last 10 years about how to pick the winners and how to stay away from the losers. This is not an easy task. Recently, I was asked to be on the Investment Advisory Board of the Center for Innovation Technology. It is a private-public partnership for the state of Virginia, where they give out tens of millions of dollars each year to startup healthcare and life science companies that have new innovative projects that need funding. So I get to evaluate these new companies and determine whether or not they're worthy of getting funding from the Virginia State Fund. Next slide. So we all have taken tests in our day, and I thought this was a cute story about a test, about students in an advanced biology class. They were taking their midterm exam, and the last question was, name 7 advantages of mother's milk. The question was worth 70 points, or none at all. One student in particular was hard put to think of 7 advantages. However, this is what he wrote down. Mother's milk is the perfect formula for the child. It provides immunity against several diseases. It is always the right temperature. It is inexpensive. It bonds the child to the mother and vice versa. It is always available as needed. Next slide. And then the student was stuck. Finally, in desperation, just before the bell rang, indicating the end of the test, he wrote, it comes in 2 attractive containers and is high enough off the ground where the cat can't get it. And he got an A in the class. Next slide. So the SoPE solution is that we're here to provide a network, to encourage you, to educate you, to connect entrepreneurs so that your new idea has a chance of making it to patients. We operate at the very early stages of innovation and commercialization. We encourage you, both medical professionals, healthcare professionals, biomedical engineers, in terms of exploring the possibilities and empowering you with the knowledge and the resources so you can take the initial steps and go to market with your new innovation. Next slide. We are a young and growing organization. We have 14 chapters in the United States, 4 chapters starting internationally, but in order to be successful, we need your involvement. We want you to become a member. We want you to participate in events, both social networking events and educational events. We want you to be a partner in our educational global network and talk to people all around the world so that you don't make the same mistakes that they've made. We want you to be able to sponsor a scholar program for a specific medical specialty in Turkey and to have significant SoPE Foundation and SoPE events at your institution. Next slide. So doctors sometimes have a difficult time in talking to patients, so we say to them, what fits your busy schedule better? Exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day? It's a difficult road that we are trying to pursue here. But Yavuz, I thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning to introduce SoPE to the Turkey community and to answer any questions that you or your colleagues may have about starting a SoPE chapter in Turkey. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Actually, we appreciate your time because I know you wake up early over there and it's afternoon here on the other side of the ocean. So on behalf of the hosts here as well, I thank Boğaziçi University and Cengiz Han and all the colleagues here. But it's open for any questions from anyone at this time. Any questions for Jeff?
Are there any other international chapters
Yes, we have a couple more international chapters. One in India, right? And one in
We have chapters starting in Shanghai,
Shanghai in China. Yeah.
in India,
India and
in Australia, and in France.
France. So it's a young organization, and we welcome anyone's involvement and participation. Actually, I spoke with a Harvard graduate last night. He called me. He's in San Diego. He asked me if there's a San Diego chapter. I said, I'll ask Jeff. Is there a San Diego chapter?
We are starting a San Diego chapter. I need a chapter leader for San Diego. I have many people that are looking, but I need one person to lead the chapter.
I'll shoot you his CVN information. So if you're okay, I highly recommend him. He's a really interesting neurosurgeon, physician entrepreneur, and has a very interesting background working in biotechnology. And he knows, I think he can be a big asset for SoPE as well.
Wonderful.
Any questions?
Well, I thank you all for listening today. Yavuz, thank you for arranging this.
Anytime.
And I hope that you will have a successful launch to the SoPE Turkey chapter. And if there's anything that I can do to help foster that, you know you can always call me.
I know my goal is to bring you here and host you probably in September. We're going to have a large molecular biology meeting, Middle East molecular biology meeting. And I want to have a separate SoPE day where we can do maybe a bioentrepreneur workshop, including Boğaziçi University and SoPE and Arlen and yourself. I would like to organize that for September. So I'll be in touch with you about that.
Very good. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Take care, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bağlantıdan bayağı iyi oldu. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz.
Rica ederim.
Bu da iyi oldu yani. Ben bu hani elektrikten kesintiler olunca bütün Türkiye biliyorsunuz durum çok kötü.
Rezil olmadık.
Evet.
Ben de korkuyorum. Allah'ım ne olur rezil olmayalım diye.
Elektrik bağlantısı olmadı. Bir jeneratörü falan internet belli olmuyor. Çünkü arada switchler var. Yani bir yerde kesilebilir Türk Telekom'un herhangi bir bağlantıları. Evet, şimdi bizim siz biraz daha devam edelim.
Yani çok da vakit kalmadı. 5 uçağına yetişeceğim, bence siz wrap up edin.
Evet.
Bu slaytlar burada, daha bir aya
slaytları size koyabiliriz. Paylaşımda sakınca yok.
Hepsi size ait.
PDF ile ilgili olan
Hepsi
onu
ait.
paylaşalım onu arkadaşlara. Yani biz şu anda dediğim gibi bu programın bir şekilde hani bir ayağı olarak gördüğümüz bu işi devam ettirmeye çalışacağız. Özellikle bu hastanelerle ilgili. Yakından takip ettiğimiz biyodesign programı var. Bunlar biyodesign denen başka bir operasyon metodolojisi var. Hastanelerde bu işin yapılışı, doktorların ve mühendislerin bir araya gelişiyle ilgili bir ekip kullanılıyor. Firmalar falan da giriyor işin içine. Onu da yakından takip ediyoruz. Onu sizinle bir ayrıca görüşürüz. Yani burada ana nokta, yani ben gene o noktaya geliyorum. Yani genelde bizim öğretim üyelerimizin tamamı memur olduğumuz için öğrencilerimize de hani ister istemez master doktoraya gelenlere siz de öğretim üyesi olursunuz, işte bak Boğaziçi mezunusunuz filan gibi bir vizyon çiziyoruz veya bir yere gidersiniz, yurt dışına kapağı atarsınız diye vizyon çiziyoruz ama Türkiye'nin ihtiyaçları ve mevcut durumu, destek mekanizması şu anda sizlerin bu ülke için gerekli bu biyomedikal olsun, biyoteknolojik transformasyona katkı vermenizi sağlayacak bir ortam sağlıyor. Yani şu aşamada öğrenciyken başlayarak girişimcilik, kendi şirketinizi kurma ve bu bizim gibi ulusal ve uluslararası networklerden de faydalanarak belirli bir maceraya atılmanızı kolaylaştırıyor. Ben bunu sizlere, öğrenci olan arkadaşlara öneriyorum. Çünkü burada geçireceğiniz zaman size eninde sonunda girişimci olmayansanız bile ileriki hayatınızda gelmek istediğiniz nokta bu. Bu da şu anda Türkiye'de bu ortam